Hello everyone and welcome back to Divine FM episode 45. You would not believe the rage tantrum I just had a second ago because I could not get my camera to sit up without it like slipping down. So I'm gonna try really hard to not move very much and avoid getting triggered again, because what the actual hell, like I'm just stressed out and like overwhelmed by being tired and overworked, and I just want to sit down and record this episode. So kick back, relax, and please do enjoy this episode where we're going to be talking about liminal spaces and rediscovering yourself. I'm going to make this fairly quick because based on my mood and my temperament, I only have so much patience. But for right now, because it's been on my mind for so long, I think I just need to spill it out, spill the beans, so we can move on with our lives. The concept of liminal spaces has heavily been on my mind. Not just because of that movie that everyone was talking about. I haven't seen it. I don't really watch horror movies, so it's just not really my vibe. But just like being in a liminal space theoretically, is very scary whenever you make that realization that you're at a stage of your life where you basically are being given that choice to repeat the cycle or change. But with change comes uncertainty, and with uncertainty comes with having to let go of who you are and, just that version of yourself that you are. Especially whenever you actually like who you are and you're enjoying, I guess, life presently, it's a lot harder to let go of that version of yourself, I guess, and all the things and people and places that, encompassed that season of your life, yourself. But it's also healing to realize that every version of yourself is just as worthy, is just as beautiful and exciting. I have this one affirmation in my bathroom, actually, that says, "I will never have this version of myself again. Let me sit down and be with her." I believe it says that. Being able to really sit with yourself, especially in times whenever you realize that whatever is happening right now will not be for forever, like is extremely temporary. I think it's a universal thing that most people know at this point, but don't always actively or consciously make the choice to make that connection, especially in moments where being present is the most important thing to do. Even though you want to think about the future, you want to think about the past, you want to think about what you're thinking about. I'm going through that cycle, I guess, of letting my consciousness be taken somewhere else. Just little things, that take you away from the present. Every time I'm ending that cycle and I'm making those realizations, it's connecting in my head oh wait, where did I go? Where was I that whole time? I was not in my seat of consciousness. I was literally somewhere else, taken away. I was in a trance, it feels like sometimes whenever you, I don't know, does that make sense? Kind of how I picture the concept of liminal spaces too. Being present, that you're the observer and not the one actually thinking the thoughts. You have the power to observe the thoughts and not let them, affect you in any way. And, better you are at it, the easier it gets to just let them exist and then let them go. But whenever you're in seasons of being wrapped up in your ego or being wrapped up in just the worldly things that's going on, it's really, really easy to forget who you are. And that sounds insane, forget who you are, but no, literally, last night I literally rediscovered myself. It feels after not being with myself just for a couple of days. Honestly, I don't know when I fell off, but I know I did. I think also, no one's gonna be surprised here, but I had to get a new car. And no, I didn't crash it. So, yeah. It's still my fault though. Regardless. Last week, I went through the really intense cycle of, holy shit, I fucked up. Since my dad, a lot of dads, are extremely hard on me, and whenever I do anything that's not perfect, but especially when I fuck up, he gets so irrationally upset with me. Typically, even especially with car things and just something that I'm not as knowledgeable about yet, am trying to be. Like, I'd rather just do it myself. But sometimes you just have to ask for help. And if you can't do something yourself, or if you're gonna put yourself in a bigger hole by not asking for help, which is what I did and why I had to get a new car. Guys, if you haven't gotten your oil change yet, fucking get an oil change right now. I went through that cycle and that period of stress and uncertainty fairly well, I would say. I have a really good support system, and I'm more like emotionally regulated than I've ever been. So yes, it was hard and sad and like uncomfortable, but it wasn't like, it felt like my world was gonna fall apart. I was just kind of having to like sit with a lot of heavy feelings of like being yelled at and being like belittled, and just feeling like I fucked up, and like accepting that I fucked up, and also staying hopeful that it won't be like this for very long. You know, like, I didn't know if I was gonna get a car. I didn't know what kind of car I was gonna get. I didn't know how much money I was gonna have to dish out. I didn't know how I was gonna get to work for like half the week. But now we're here, and everything is fine, like I knew it would be in that moment. And since I feel like I was able to be really positive, everything just flowed like really easily. The whole process of like finding a car and it working out and not having that many miles on it already. And I ended up liking the car more than I did any of the other ones that I originally wanted, because it has certain things like this thing. Oh, you can't even see it, and I'm not gonna move it. But the thing that you like put your sunglasses in. Oh my god, I've never had one of those before. Literally a game changer. It makes me feel like an auntie. I am an auntie, literally. But yeah, rediscovering that I was not acting and thinking and existing from a, I don't know, the perspective that I would prefer to be, I guess. Like, sometimes you don't consciously make the choice to fall off or like get lost in a thought or get lost in something that's like outside of yourself that draws your attention. But like, once you let it suck you in, you basically have no choice but to like go through the cycle of being sucked in, and then going through the realization of, oh my god, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, what did I do, how do I get out of this? And then you realize, oh my god, I keep thinking about me thinking, I keep thinking about me suffering, but I'm not doing anything about it, because what's even wrong? What did I do? Like, it's a constant, never-ending cycle, it feels like, of thinking about your thinking and feeling shameful for it. Also trying to figure out how you got there in the first place. Am I making sense? Like, I feel like, I don't know, especially whenever you have a lot going on and you're constantly like, have your energy elsewhere, you know, whether it be work or your family or your social life. You're trying to make choices that are different than what you usually do. Your normal routine is more uncomfortable than normal. Periods like that, or whenever it's much more evident that something's wrong and that you're suffering and that you're the cause of your own suffering. But this takes practice, because I used to fall into the same cycle almost immediately. Whenever I would get out of it and I would rediscover myself, quote unquote, I'm like, oh wait, I lost its grip on me. I'm fine. Everything's okay. I just used to be much more sensitive and like not as knowledgeable and like, I guess, willing to sit in my discomfort as much as I am now. But, you know, life requires certain things of everyone, and each experience teaches you something new. I just try to look at everything with a more positive spin on things, regardless if it's bad, because like, maybe what I wanted was not actually what's meant for me, you know? Like, whatever's meant for you will not pass you by. I'm not going to be surprised if I find myself in another liminal space, maybe even today, especially at nighttime whenever I can't sleep. Because last night, oh my god, not me like finishing, it took me almost 15 minutes to write this email to my leasing, like the people who work at my apartment building, because it sounded like my upstairs neighbors were like doing fucking construction, like the most insane noises, like all night, like from 10 p.m. to whenever I left for work. Like, I try to get annoyed thinking that I'm just being dramatic, but no, they know my character, and so they're gonna know that I'm fucking serious. Some shit, like, I understand hearing in an apartment building, but like 24-hour Guinness World Record challenge, they're trying to beat it, apparently. No, I'm just being silly. I'm not actually mad either. It felt really funny and very real of me to send that email because I'm choosing me. I'm not choosing pleasing people who I don't even know, who might not even say anything to me and might not even get mad. But to continue with the actual podcast episode, sorry for my little rant, but it was very real, like making me realize how miserable I felt in that moment from not getting enough sleep. And that was one of the nights that I felt more tired, that I could actually fall asleep and stay asleep. Yet it wasn't my thoughts keeping me awake whenever I realized I was thinking. It was the fucking jackhammer sounds waking me up. I actually did a little ritual. I smashed my favorite mug in just honor of like letting go of any attachments I may still have in this old season of my life, as I'm like knowingly in this stage of picking up the pieces of all this time that I was wherever the fuck, mentally speaking, like was not there, wrapped up in my own little world, my own little self-absorbed egotistical bubble. I was repeatedly like addicted to my own thoughts of suffering, and then trying to like explain why it's okay to think those thoughts, because as long as I'm aware of them, they're not actually like a threat. I think that I'm the narrator behind those thoughts, so I feel like a threat, therefore I feel shameful that I'm feeling them in the first place and making me just hate existing, i.e. suffering. Like, tell me why. Like, why is it so easy to get wrapped up in like the thoughts that are going on inside your head? We seem to like love being actors. Like, we're all thespians up there, and we want to attach to it all, and we want to literally live that character through and through, even though we know we're not them. For some reason, they are the all high and mighty, and if we don't listen to it, then we're wrong and we're uncomfortable and we're gonna suffer the consequences. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. It took a second for me to get there, to realize that all I have to do is let go and sit with them and like just quiet down the noise in my head a little bit. Like, if you just let yourself like sit there, close your eyes, let everything else fall away, just notice the thoughts that surface. I really wanted to just post this pod one take, but sometimes I just feel so like cringy. If I can listen to this beginning to end and still like myself, I think I can handle some hate comments. Speaking of, if anyone is watching this and you came from or subscribed to my channel from my practical exam video, number one, how did you find that video? Number two, I don't know, maybe just number one. I had to post that for my practical exam. It has like 400 something views now. I'm like, guys, oh my god. None of my vlogs have more than like 100 views. Like, the one I just posted has like 23. Albeit, my BTS concert vlog, they really came through. If you came here from that video, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Anyways, if any of you guys are in a liminal space right now and you feel like you are really uncomfortable and nothing feels the same, you know it could be better, just don't let the fear hold you back from doing the damn thing. You know, like, stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about thinking and feeling the satisfaction and the dopamine of thinking about things before actually doing them. Just do it, because we're not here to be perfect. We're here to be brave. And I think standing on the precipice and feeling hopeful and confident, regardless if you feel that or not, telling yourself that you are is, you know, in turn telling yourself that you can be, you know. And if you want to be a better version of yourself, I don't think it's a bad thing to like genuinely believe that everything is going to be okay, regardless if you like emotionally feel that way right now. Because like, everything obviously is not always going to be okay, but like the overbearing idea that like life itself is not okay, whenever you're like in a time where like, you know, you don't have as many creature comforts, or just like you feel shameful for, you know, the fact that you want to do things that no longer feel, I don't know, aligned to you per se. Trust me, it's a universal experience, and just remember that you're the observer. You're not the person thinking the thoughts. You're just judging them. Look it, I'm in the season where I believe everything's gonna be better than okay. It's gonna be better than I even know how to ask for, because it has been. Like, I can't sit here and say it hasn't been. Like, I am such a lucky bitch. I am living my best life right now. I'm gonna look back to the season of my life in hopes that I lived every day to the fullest, and in gratitude that I was present for it all and that I documented it. But yeah, I'm gonna end this off reading just this like little excerpt. The key is to understand that if you don't let go immediately, the disturbing force of the activated energy draws the focus of your consciousness. As your consciousness gets immersed in the disturbance, you lose your clear seat of self. It happens instantaneously. There's no feeling of going anywhere, any more than there is when you leave a room or get absorbed in a book or TV show. You simply lose the fixed point of consciousness from which you were objectively aware of your surroundings. Your consciousness leaves the central position of witnessing the minor energies around you, and you get sucked into focusing on just one of them. That I was like, oh fuck! Like, where have I been? Hey, but it's okay, we're back. And we're back with another episode. So, I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Bye, guys.